Turn on your microphone when speaking. For those participating via Zoom, please state your name when making a comment or asking a question. I'd like to welcome two new members. Are they here?
Give me 1 second. I do not see them yet.
Oh, okay. Well, Lisa Faison from Goodyear, who's replacing Justin Fair, and Trenton Schaefer from Town of Florence are new members, so hopefully they'll pop in. The MAG public comment process allows members of the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction. If you would like to comment on today's meeting, please complete the request to speak form. MAG staff can assist with any questions you may have. And if you parked in the garage, a validation stamp is available on the counter. If you purchased a transit ticket to come to the meeting, please see staff for a ticket. Hearing assisted devices are available from MAG staff. We will now begin the meeting with a roll call of all members.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. Jeff Sheets.
Present.
Greg Plataz. Jim Keane. I can see you, Jim. I can't hear you.
Present. Hear that?
Excellent. Get to see Jim for the first time in a while. Tom Bacon.
Present.
Trenton Schaefer. Mike Chickarone.
Present.
And we have Jeremy Kurtz for Sasan Paridazadi.
Present.
Yeah, welcome. Lisa Faison. Scott Conn.
Present.
Chris Almelin. Steen Hambrick. Kim Clark. Robert Fisher.
Present.
Tracy Mills.
Present.
Jared Morris.
Present.
Steve Holiday.
Here.
And Phil Oslin. And we do have a quorum.
Excellent. Our next item is call to the audience. This is the opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda, informational items, or items on the agenda for discussion and not for action. 15 minutes will be provided for the call to the audience unless the chair requests an exception to this limit. I have received no request to speak for the call to the audience. MAG also provides the opportunity for members of the public to submit written comments via the MAG website. Any comments received 2 hours prior to the meeting have been shared with committee members in advance of the meeting for consideration and will be included in the formal meeting minutes. Staff, have we received any online written comments for the call to the audience?
Thank you, Chair. We have received no written comments for this item.
Right. Our next item is approval of the meeting minutes. Does any member of the committee have any questions? Hearing none, prior to the approval of the meeting minutes, there is an opportunity for members of the public to comment. I have not received any comments for this item. No requests for this item, sorry. Staff, have we received any online comments?
Thank you, Chair. We have received no comments for this item.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve agenda item number 3?
So moved.
Was that Scott?
Yep.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second by Mike Chickarone.
Thank you. We will have those participating in the meeting online take part in a voice vote by turning on their cameras and unmuting their audio. We need to see the faces of everyone to participate in the voice vote. For those who cannot or do not want to turn on their cameras, staff will conduct a roll call vote. Staff will only call on those virtual participants who do not turn on their cameras. Members, please leave your cameras on until after the roll call vote so that the staff can count the people's names whose cameras are not on. Can I have a voice vote of those in the room and those online? Those in favor say aye.
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 And those opposed say nay. Members, please leave your cameras on. Staff, can you take a roll call of the members participating virtually who did not turn on their cameras?
Yeah, I want to confirm. Jeremy, are you also Daybreak Room 109? All right, I didn't actually hear you. I think you're muted because I've got you on 2 attendees. still muted. I haven't
Sorry.
got.
We're
Okay.
Zoom challenge here.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you very much. Okay, that was unanimous, Tracy.
Thank you. Item number 4, Regional Community Network Assessment. This item is on the agenda for information and discussion and will be presented by David Lucas from the Maricopa Association of Governments.
Thank you, Chair Mills, members of the Technology Advisory Group. I'm going to introduce David Lucas. David has joined MAG as the ITS Program Manager and brings 30 years of experience in the ITS and transportation technology field. He's worked as a consultant at AECOM Traffic Technology Branch Manager at Maricopa County Department of Transportation, ITS Engineer at City of Tempe, and Research Engineer at both ASU and University of Arizona. David worked closely with Ryan Gish and MAG in his previous member agency roles and is well versed in the role of the RCN and its importance as a regional resource. And I'll turn it over to David.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Technical Advisory Group. Today, I just wanted to inform you that MAG has executed a new task order with AECOM to review and evaluate the regional community network, which includes an exploration of using the RCN to provide broadband access. This task order will document the history of the RCN, assess the RCN's current conditions, evaluate expanded service opportunities, and identify next steps for modernizing the RCN program and its governance model. This effort will involve stakeholder input through surveys and interviews to understand the current and future needs of the RCN. The assessment is scheduled for completion by the end of September, but in the interim, no significant modifications are being made to the RCN, with the focus on maintaining what is currently in place. Madam Chair, back to you.
Thank you, David. Do any members have any questions or comments? Well, hearing none. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item 5, Western Region Innovation and Technology Alliance, RETA. This item is on the agenda for information discussion and will be presented by Scott Kahn from the City of Mesa.
And I'm going to share my screen. RETA, again, Western Regional Innovation and Technology Alliance, is off to a tremendous start. We have 23 enterprise members, meaning everybody within the IT organization. All IT members within an organization are considered active members. Arizona has a tremendous share of those licenses. Hopefully everybody can see the screen. This is just the website, reta.us. And just to refresh everybody's memory, the purpose of RETA is truly to build a collaborative platform where 7 states, IT organizations within state, county, local, and special district governments can share information back and forth, collaborate on questions that they might be facing. For instance, how do you handle Mac laptops? You can see on my screen there. Requests for policies on recording video conference meetings. Does anybody have any? These are 2 of the most recent ones. Thank you, Jeff, for submitting the one. And Audrey, you've got one up there as well, cooperative contracts for NAVX, relatively new. We are approaching 600 active members at this point in time, 600 active individuals being logged into the system from time to time. We have several vendors that have also joined as platinum partners, two golds and I want to say 4 platinums at this point in time. So we're gaining momentum, we're gaining steam, we're starting to get a critical mass. Arizona by far is leading the way with organizations again, probably followed by Utah, then New Mexico and Idaho. Our biggest challenges are Montana and Wyoming. They're the smaller teams out there, but they're starting to chat up RETA and get some excitement there. So we're just in the startup stages still, but it's starting to get to a critical mass level where we'll start getting responses to questions that are put out there. We have our first actual event scheduled for the end of September, the RETA Fall Summit, which will be held in South Lake Tahoe, Nevada, September 24th through the 26th. We have a keynote speaker set up, a gentleman named Kevin Sakati. He is the founder of a firm called Human Factors, and he will be talking primarily about the value and the benefits of collaboration, kind of supporting the theme of RITA. We will also have presentations from 4 different vendors. Those have yet to be selected. We're in the process of gathering proposals and seeing what might be of interest. We will also be having a board meeting at that fall summit event. So with that, questions about RITA and concerns, ideas, anything you'd like to share? Nothing?
Just a great opportunity. I think it's a great forum for collaboration. I hate to reinvent the wheel. So if I can ask a question and see if someone's already doing it, struggling with the same thing, or have, gone through it, this is just going to be a great platform for that. I can't wait to dive in and use it.
It's only going to get better as people understand what it's capable of. That's the fun part. A lot of folks they've joined, but they're approaching it cautiously, and it's like, it's okay. You can put yourself out there. You can ask a question. It's gonna go. All right. So like I say, Jeff and Audrey right there. I saw you did that, and Aaron Bentley is the CIO for Salt Lake City. He's out there getting into it too. So this is gonna go. Okay. It's just a matter of getting people comfortable. And again, Arizona is leading the way, which I love. That's fun for us.
That's because we're the best, right?
Well, we can say that amongst us, but we can't say that to the RITA meeting,
Okay, yeah, they're not on this call, so. Thank you, Scott. Do any members have any questions or other comments?
I'm just tickled we got close to 600 active signups at the moment.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I mean, that's startup hasn't been that long, so that's great. All right, well, we'll keep you on because we're moving on to item 6. That's the municipal fiber project. This item is on the agenda for information and discussion and will be presented by Scott again from the City of Mesa.
So I have several things to share here. I'm going to share my screen again. This is near and dear to our hearts. Well, there we go. Now it's going to work. And I'm going to show you where we're at currently. So this first slide here, you see basically the outline of the City of Mesa. And in the center left, you see red lines. These are the fiber lines for downtown Mesa that have been completed within what we call phase 1. And there are 3 phases. 2 of the phases are funded with bond money. But phase 1 has been completed. That's basically taking care of the downtown area. So I'm going to go to, this is phase 2. These are expected to be completed by 2026. The blue lines, red dotted, green dotted, these are all planned extensions of Mesa's fiber. But the next slide shows a better concept of it. The idea with phase 2 is to create the completion of a downtown loop attached to a loop heading west. And you can see that the most western part of Mesa, while we have fiber in the ground in many locations that I'm not showing you here, but I can on a different map. This is the actual expansion of fiber and the creation of loops. They used to do a hub and spoke model here a while back, which we thought was rather risky and inefficient. We like the loops better in case somebody digs in the ground with a backhoe and cuts one of the pieces. At least most of the loop carries on. I think everybody on this call understands that. But this is the phase 2 that we're currently working on, primarily in the center of town there. Phase 3 will be funded by another bond. So we haven't gone to do that yet, but that's where you can see we are starting to get the the eastern side of Mesa taken care of down near Mesa Gateway Airport, down in the lower right-hand part of the map. Okay, but it will complete loops out in the eastern part of the city, and that pretty much will complete the fiber plan for all of Mesa. So this will be into the 27, 28 timeframe, even though we have some existing packages today. So if I were to sum that up, this is a shot of the green lines you see on the Mesa map are things we have in place today. Any dotted lines are things we're planning and or preparing to do. The green would be phase 2, the purple would be phase 3. Okay, but it will create what amounts to a series of 3 major loops: downtown, center of town, eastern part of town, that Mesa and its residents and businesses can tap into. And we're putting in an inordinate amount of strands, 288 strands everywhere we're going as a minimum. So we're going to have plenty of capacity for growth and expansion for the future. But this puts the baseline foundational loop-based architecture in place by 2028. I know it's exciting looking at fiber maps, but anybody have questions on anything you see here or concerns?
I'm excited that this is happening. I'm trying to, kind of get this off the ground and surprise as well. But how do you, what is your, are you going to look at leasing your fiber out to other third party? Are you, is this all your own fiber? Are you partnering with third party companies, in-kind fiber for any of this work? What is your main focus for the fiber use? If you can help me understand all that.
So everything you saw on the maps would be Mesa city-owned fiber that we're putting in. We use contractors on a lot of the installation jobs, but we also use our own staff. We have a radio communications team that's gotten extremely good at putting fiber in the ground and micro trenching and so on. In fact, we have residents who say, we really want to get the fiber so we can get access to different things here. And then when we get in the ground and start digging stuff up, all of a sudden it's, hey, how come there's construction crews in my street? And what are they doing here? So, there's no way to win, so to speak, until it's actually done and it's in the ground and it's available. As far as the use or intended use, traffic and city facility support is the primary goal, number one. Now, because we're building in so much excess capacity, we'll be looking at revenue generation for leasing out dark fiber to companies, primarily companies, right? And making it dark fiber things so we're not on the hook to support it. They have to put their own endpoints to utilize the transport in place. But I'm sure we're in the same boat everybody else is. Everybody's looking at the economy and trying to determine, are we going to be better in 5 years, or are we going to be where we are today in 5 years? What's happening? So we're planning for revenue generation everywhere we go. Once traffic and the city's needs are satisfied, anything left over is fair game. And we're going to see a lot of that, we think, at Mesa Gateway Airport, because it's growing like a weed out of control right now. It's just amazing to us how many companies want to come in and actually leverage the airport. So that's why the southeast portion of the loop is going to be so vital here in phase 3.
So your goal is your own city fiber, not to use anybody else's.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And we looked at going in with, the Verizons of the world and the AT&Ts and the, hey, we'll do a special deal. But each of the vendors started crying foul. You can't give Verizon a deal and not give AT&T the same deal and give T-Mobile the same deal and give Google the same deal. So Google's doing their own thing out here quickly and in a large way, but so are we. Okay, so we don't intend to compete with them with what they're doing. They're going after the residential areas primarily and some of the businesses, but we're going to be right alongside them in our own conduit in a lot of these places.
Do you have a dig once policy, or are you trying to seek opportunities for joint trenching? You know, how are you working with your developers on some of those?
We would love to put in place a dig once policy, but every time I suggest that, all the people in engineering, their knees start to twitch and they get this little nervous shake. And so it's been a challenge to get everybody on board with that. So no, we do not have a dig once policy in place. Thus all of the construction and all the traffic diversions and so on. But at some point that will eventually take place. Somebody will see that makes sense. Right now, no, it's, hey, we just paved that street. Yeah, that's great. We're going to go dig up a section of it and put some conduit in the ground now. So we're still in that mode, unfortunately.
Are you requiring your developers to put in conduit in when infrastructure going in?
Yeah, anytime we have an opportunity where we know they're digging in an area of interest that we have, we are having them actually put in, unfulfilled conduit.
Okay.
Yep. And boxes, so we've got the pull strings and everything we need to pull our own stuff. Okay,
might need to pick your brain a little bit more offline and not utilize the whole time here.
It's quite all right. I mean, we're building a brand new public safety building that'll house our 911, our next gen 911 group, and we're combining our fire and our police CAD teams into one that will go into this building. And we don't yet have fiber run to that building. So that's one of the things where a contractor is in the street and we are requiring them to put conduit in for us. So we'll have that.
Great. Well, this is a passion of mine since I started with the city, and I'm finally getting some legs. They're starting to walk. So I'm excited. So like I said, I may pick your brain a little bit more on that. Seeing that you've got this already in the bonds, and you've got funding for it. So I'm not quite there, but I hope to be within the next year or two. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Hearing none. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We'll move on to item 7, request for future agenda items. Are there any requests from the membership for an item on a future agenda?
This is Jeremy. Hopefully you can hear me this time.
Yes.
I know Sasan was interested in talking about retention efforts and what processes, products are in place at the various municipalities. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome. Retention, is there specific areas? I mean, are we talking like email, voicemails? Are we talking documents as a whole versus what,
Yes. So like basically what the state library mandates of us, and then also how that impacts FOIA requests and how we can make those more efficient as well.
Okay. Very good. Any other requests?
Yeah, one, and we've already put it out on the RETA collaboration site, which will be interesting to see, but maybe everybody else is in the same boat as I am. My team here in our experimentation with AI tools is really getting hot and bothered about recording meetings. And literally it started recording every meeting we have here in IT until I put a stop to it. And I said, look, if you record this is now a public request available thing, right? And I'm not sure because I can be rather flippant in some of my candid discussions that I want to be recorded during these meetings, sharing comments about what I think about this and what I think about that. So I'm curious if everybody else is having the same thing pop up more and more as, Zoom and Teams and all the rest of these things say, oh, we can build a transcript for your meeting. We can capture your action items. We can capture your key decisions and keep that for you. Our team here is going overboard on that, and I'm trying to pull the reins and say, whoa, let's understand what we should and what we should not be recording for these purposes. So I'm curious what everybody else thinks.
Looks like
Yeah,
we have, Jared has his hand up.
Hey, thank you. And Scott, that's a fantastic question. We're dealing with the same thing in Tempe. And so I think it may be a good item to discuss in the future, especially related to AI items, including recording. So yeah, we had a similar thing that we went to. I won't mention the names of the couple of transcription applications that seem to spread everywhere, but there's a few of those that we've had to eliminate, kind of like whack-a-mole. So that makes a lot of sense. But every month it seems when I get that that report of what AI technologies we're using, even though we've been pretty strict about messaging and technology efforts that we put in place at the firewall, that there's a couple that still like to try to pop up when they can. So I think it's a great line item. Appreciate it.
This is not agendized so that we can actually discuss the items. So for the meeting, we can't actually discuss the substance of the items.
Okay, yeah, we'll add it for next time then. We'll add something for the AI tools and we can get into more of the meeting recordings then. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the actual discussion of the item we have to do at a future meeting. We can't do that under the way this is
Sure.
agendized.
Makes sense. Okay, so everybody table their thoughts on that and then we can have a lot to talk about the next time with regards to these items. Anybody have anything else that they want to bring up or add to the agenda for next time?
Hey, Tracy, it's Craig. You'd mentioned real-time crime centers and digital twins. So I've got those.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. I think a few of us were on a meeting with the Connectip on that, so that'll be good. All right, we'll move on to item 8. Are there any comments or announcements from the membership? Hearing none, I think we will be able to start the adjournment process. The next meeting of the Technology Advisory Group will be on Thursday, July 17, 2025 at 10 a.m. So with no further business, today's meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.